PFL to do this.
Awesome. PFL, more than just football. So we are now in the last week of the season. Our 5th year, week 8. We had an amazing season. Next week starts playoffs. Over 100, probably 150, probably 200 guys trying out for PFL college football. Travel, accommodations, overnight trips. College football like no other. We're bringing it to you. It's going to be something. We're changing the game yet again. Pioneer Football League. We're back.
Better get you a vest. We don't care how you feel. Hitting harder than still. Your destiny been sealed. Still form like a shield. I bring you back down to earth while we light up the turf. I keep that torch in my hand while you getting this work. All we do is just win, and you know losing the choice. At the top it's just us, it's only me and my boys. Yeah, we just tryna ball. We ain't come here to fight. I'm about them cameras in action. We talking Friday Night Lights. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Pioneer League, it's time for Sports Center. Yeah.
Time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Sports Center, time for Sports Center. Pioneer League, time for Sports Center.
So the Pioneer League finished out its 5th season with homecoming over at Evander Childs High School. The Bronx Giants and the Patterson Mustangs battled on the field, and a lot of fun was had by everybody, including the Bronx Giants cheerleaders who showed off their moves, as you can see here with Miss Goya. For the 2nd straight week, we had a really big play. This time it was the Patterson Mustangs. Everybody kind of stopped. In fact, faked the cameraman out. Number 5 taking it to the house for the Patterson Mustangs. And you'll see on the replay, was he down? No, he was not down. And a big play, but the Bronx Giants regained control. Came away with a few victories and got themselves in playoff position. More details on that upcoming. But a great time was had by all. Great job to the Bronx Giants. Congratulations on another successful season. Also, great job to the Patterson Mustangs. Fought hard and had a great season as well. And they're also moving on to the playoffs as well. So, the way that the playoffs stack up, we should be seeing some of these matchups possibly again in the semifinals of the championship.
Okay. I want y'all to do this dance now. You doing that beat? How nice.
Oh, man. Look at this here. This has got to be one of the... Oh, look at this here. Woo! Where can I get that from? The green screen. The Bronx Colts Collegiate program got a signature win this past weekend. Playoff time for the MLF. The Somerset Bears, who had defeated the Bronx Colts team twice this season, the 3rd time being quite the charm for the boys from the Bronx, as the Colts defense really shined in this one, providing the pressure and a bunch of big stops at pivotal times. The Bronx Colts defense forced turnovers. The offense put in an early score. The early score for the Colts put them ahead. However, the Somerset Bears were driving, and the defense of the Colts came through when it mattered. Again, forcing some turnovers and proving that even as a very young team, that the Colts with championship game experience, some of it definitely does translate. So the Colts ended up winning 12-0 and sent the Bears home packing for the holidays. So the Colts move on this week, and they will take on a very tough Brass City Kings team up in Connecticut on Saturday night. So the playoffs are here, and we have some great matchups in all three conferences. Let's start with the Pioneer Conference. 10 and under division, you have the Colts and the Long Island Spartans, Jets, and Bronx Buccaneers. Two great games, great matchups coming in the weekend. The game in Long Island will be on Saturday night out at Walt Whitman High School. The other game times for the Buccaneers home game will be posted soon. The 12U Pee Wee division, we have Buccaneers versus the Long Island Spartans. That'll be the 7:30 kick out at Walt Whitman High School. Rematch from last week in both the 12U games. Buccaneers, Spartans, and the Sharks, Jets. Let's see if the 1 and 2 seeds can hold serve, or if we get some upsets this week. 14U Intermediate Division, we have Buccaneers and Elizabeth Minutemen, Harlem Jets, and Staten Island Bandits. Both of those games should be really good ones. 14U Division, one of our most competitive divisions this year. Surprised a lot of people with how many teams came out and really battled this year, especially that Elizabeth Minutemen team who have been rolling big wins week in and week out, and we'll see them on the power rankings for sure. They look like they're going to be claiming the top spot after week 8 action. In our senior division, one of our historically really competitive divisions, last year the Bronx Buccaneers scored the upset of the year, dethroning the number 1 seed. This year they have the 4 seed against the Staten Island Bandits. We'll see if we have a repeat from last year, or are the Bandits for real going into the playoffs. The New York City Lions take on the Jets. That's a rivalry game. We've seen those two teams battle it out year in and year out for the past 5 years as well. Two programs really highly respected in the Pioneer League. Over in the Inner City Conference, we have Broncos, Nifty Lions. Nifty Lions, a really strong season this year. We look forward to seeing them in the playoffs. Bronx Giants coming off a strong homecoming game against an always tough and gritty Fordham Falcons team. 12U Division, Nifty Lions and Fordham Falcons, that could be the game of the week. Irvington Raiders, now the Newark Falcons, will be taking on the Bronx Giants over at Evander Childs High School. We also have an additional game, Staten Island Broncos versus the Woodside Warriors. New York City Lions as well. I believe that's the same program. In the 14U Intermediate Division, we have the Long Island Tomahawks and Vailsburg Gators. Gators are a very competitive team, one of the preseason favorites. Let's see if they can get into form as the postseason approaches. Patterson Mustangs and Bronx Giants in a rematch of last week's game. We'll see if the Giants can have another strong showing at home for that one. 13U Division, we have one game, Steelers and Nifty Lions. Nifty Lions always strong with that 13U team. That is Coach Carter's bread and butter there. Moving on to the Tri-State Conference, we have in our 10U Division, Bills and Vikings. Those two teams have battled it out. They'll be battling to see who advances to the Tri-State Championship next week against the Steelers. 12U Pee Wee Division, we have Vikings and Steelers. 14U Division, we have Pelham Bay Warriors and Bronx Steelers. The 14U Championship for the following week is set. Westchester Grenades will be taking on the Bronx Steelers, so the Steelers are taking a prep week, try to get some extra action in. As we know, Coach Sean loves to play football all year round, so his guys will be ready. Should be a very interesting matchup. Pelham Bay Warriors last week, great showing at Columbia University with their younger guys. Had a great time, got some insight to that great organization. So this week we will see the two of them bump heads on the field. So that is the playoff picture. We look forward to another great playoff week of Pioneer League football for our 5th season. The following week will be our conference championship weekend, and we'll have an extended sports center for you next week. For this week, this is David Patterson signing off.